Hi everybody, it's me again. Sorry it's been so long since I've made a video. I've had a lot going on the past few weeks. I'm just doing like a quick video on my cell phone with no ring light or anything like that. Hope that's okay. I do want to talk about, I think I'm going to tell you one of my personal ghost stories. And this one was my oldest daughter now is 23 years old. So this was about when she was about 2 years old. And we lived in this little house. It wasn't really in the country. It was on a road the landlord lived in a big house behind us. And then we had a few neighbors, but they were, spaced out pretty good. So it was just a little farmhouse. It was kind of like when you pulled up, it looked like 2 stories because when you pulled up, you could either walk up the stairs on the side and then you'd be in the living room, or you could go in through the basement and go up the basement stairs, and that's what made it look like a 2-story home. The living room, 2 bedrooms, and the kitchen were on the top floor, and it had a huge basement with a 1-car garage on the bottom. And when we first moved in, I guess I should probably start by saying that I don't consider myself like a medium or anything, but I can sense and hear spirits. I can't really always see them because, like, one time we went to Waverly, which I'll leave that for another story. There were shadow people that chased us away that everybody in our group saw, but I did not see the shadow person. I could just sense them. So on this particular occasion, we moved in. I don't remember how long. We lived there like about maybe 3 years until we bought a house. But when we first moved in, it was mostly a lot of footsteps. Like, the basement was really creepy. There was like this one room that I don't know. It was some kind of like well room or something. I don't know what it was, but it was kind of like kept a lot of moisture in it because for some stupid reason I put extra stuff in there and it got ruined, but that's beside the point. It had a door to it where the window was, it was black. It was painted black for some reason, but I don't know. I always got the creeps in the basement. Everybody got the creeps in the basement. And I had a camera, one of those disposable cameras, and I tried to take pictures down there, but I don't know what happened to the camera. I've never found it, so I don't know if I got anything or not. But we would always hear like voices, like a man talking in the basement. My daughter, like I said, she was about 2, and she was kind of a hyper kid. And at nighttime, she would always cry and say that there was a man in her room. And we didn't believe her. We thought she was just trying to keep from going to bed. So we didn't really pay much attention to it. But she did it a lot. And then we would hear, mostly it was hearing the footsteps and hearing the talking. And then I would always go to bed before my husband because my job at that time was early in the morning, earlier than his. And I would lay in the bed. This is going to sound crazy. I don't believe in all orbs. I believe sometimes an orb could be something, but a lot of times orbs I don't believe them all. So I didn't even know what an orb was at that time. And I'd be laying in the bed and this white round ball of light would come into my room, and it would hover over me, and I didn't know, what it was, and it would scare me to death. And I would think in my mind, go away, leave me alone, and it would disappear. But I was having a lot of bad nightmares, and I was seeing this ball of white light a lot, and it really freaked me out. So one night, me and my husband were sleeping, and my husband was shaking me just at the same time that I had woke up and seen it. And my husband's a skeptic. He doesn't believe much of that ghost stuff. He's like I'll believe it when I see it kind of person. So for this to happen to him, really opened his eyes. And also, he doesn't even really like to talk about it. But what happened was we woke up and there was a man standing beside the bed. And he was solid, like a regular person. He had on a red and black checkered shirt, like a lumberjack shirt. He looked younger. Well, I'll get to that later, but he looked like he was about maybe in his 40s or so. He had black hair, black mustache, and black beard. Me and my husband saw the same thing. But when my husband woke up and saw it, he just automatically thought somebody had broken into the house. So he jumped up and tried to kick the man. And of course, the man disappeared. And I asked my landlord, has anybody ever complained about noises or seeing people or anything like that? Oh, no, nobody's ever. My wife used to live there, and there's never been anything haunting in that house, and blah, blah, blah. Well, a girl I worked with had lived on my street years ago, and I talked to her about it, and she said, she told me the guy's name. And she was like, that's the old man that used to live there. She said there was an old man that used to live there. He was kind of grumpy, and he died there. So I'm pretty sure that's probably who was haunting the house, but I don't know what he wanted. I didn't fool with Ouija boards or anything like that. And like I said, eventually we moved, and but other people moved in there. And my husband's stepsister said that when her friends were living there, they pulled up one night, and there was a man looking out the window of the basement and stuff. So other people have seen things. And it didn't scare me as bad as you would think seeing a ghost would, but it was pretty freaky. And like I said, he looked really solid, like me and you and everything. So that was my ghost experience. This happened, I'd say maybe in the late 90s. But anyway, that's one of my stories. I have others. Hopefully it won't be very long before I can make another video. Like I said, this was just a quick videos to, keep in touch with everybody. I hope you subscribe to me and don't give up on me if it takes me a little bit of time to get all this down. I'm trying to get a microphone before I do any kind of narration stories, because God knows what this is going to sound like. But if I have to, I'll do videos about serial killers and things like that, just like I'm doing now, just talking to the camera. But I hope you like this video. Please give it a thumbs up, and please subscribe to me. And have a good Friday. See you next time.